Eddie, how
Yep.
do you begin to explain that performance?
Yeah, it's a difficult one. We thought we started well. The first 20 minutes was a bit of nip and tuck. And then a couple of things went well, and we allowed that to get to us, and dropped our intensity off. And Ireland took advantage of that and established a winning lead. And again, tribute to my team that they're honest, they work hard, they came back in the game, fought hard when things were difficult. But congratulations to Ireland, they were too good for us on the day.
We've heard this before in the last couple of weeks, Eddie, aside from last week. You said that you put things right. You said that, there's a grand master plan out there, but it must feel like a massive setback. Does it feel like you're maybe going backwards rather than forwards?
Oh no, a lot of positive things in the game. It was a difficult game for us. But we still know where we're going. So I'm as disappointed as I am about the result. We still know where we're going, and we'll continue in a positive fashion.
Positive fashion, does that mean something's got to change, doesn't it, Eddie, with just after the performances of the last few weeks?
Well, I think, the main thing we're missing at the moment is consistency of performance. We showed against France we can play at a very high level, and we've just lost that consistency, which sometimes happens to a team, and we're experiencing that now, but we'll get that back.
Hi, Eddie. Did anything about Ireland's performance surprise you?
Oh no, we thought they'd come pretty hard at us through the front door, mate. Given the previous results between the teams, we knew that they wanted to settle the physical states particularly, so we thought they'd come hard. We thought they'd kick a lot, which they did. And they did it very well, mate.
And tactically, were you surprised that Ireland haven't played that well for 80 minutes in a long time? Did they get their tactics right against you?
Did they get their tactics right? Yeah, and the scoreboard indicates that.
What's got to change in this team going forward? Last time you finished fifth, there was a lot of personnel changes. Do you envisage similar things?
Look, we need to assess where we're going. As I've said all along, we're going through a transition period in the team, and this is almost the natural time for that to happen. It's 2 years to the World Cup, so those things will happen, mate.
So what would you say is the main issue at the moment?
Just our consistency to apply pressure. We started the game well. We knew what we had to do. It was a different sort of game than the French game, which had a lot of ball movement, a lot of space. This was always going to be one of those tight attritional games at Aviva Stadium. And we started the game well, and then we let a few things disappoint us in the game, and we got away from that and allowed Ireland to get on the front foot.
Tom, can you begin to sum up how frustrating, because once again players are having to come out post-match and it's the same old problems, isn't it, again and again, that you're having to explain?
Listen, losing's never easy. And there's stuff we do need to fix. But I think that's the brilliant thing about the feeling in the group is, we're almost there, but it's just not quite clicking, and we'll go away and we'll fix that. Obviously, losing is never easy and it's never good, but I'm confident that we're going to come out of this better, absolutely.
Why is that not clicking? Is it the instructions you're getting, the way you're coached, the players around you? Give us an insight into why it keeps going wrong.
Listen, like today, we can't play, well for 30, 40 minutes in an 80-minute game. We've got to be consistent and we've got to drive it throughout the whole game. First 20 and probably last 15, 20, we were good. It's just that middle bit where Ireland kept rising and, individual errors, discipline, bounce to the ball, it all factors in. And it makes for a tough day, but, fair play to Ireland. They played good rugby and got it right tactically.
Tom, what did you notice different about Ireland today from the previous times you played them?
Just clinical. We spoke kind of previously about how, The last few times we play Ireland, it's kind of about that physicality, and I thought we were there for, you know, the first 20 and probably last 20. It's just that in between, we probably didn't stay consistent enough with how we wanted to play. But also credit to them, you know, they stay clinical and direct, and that they played how they wanted to. So that's a credit to them.
Thank you.
Who's next? Any more questions for Tom?
Tom, Eddie's just sort of talked about it being a bit of a transition. You know, as somebody who's a young player on their way up, do you get the sense that it is kind of time for change? Do you get a sense that these players are genuinely going to be able to answer those questions, or have they proved over the last few weeks that you can't do that and can't find that consistency?
Listen, we've got full belief in this group of players. You know, we've been pushing and working hard. Life, sport, sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. But the sign of this team is how tight we've gelled, and off the pitch, and you know, on the pitch sometimes it doesn't quite reflect that. But the main thing is that as a group we know that. So you know, we've got full confidence.
Do you think you've progressed as a group over this Six Nations?
Definitely.
Do you think you've got better as a group?
Yes.
Because?
Sorry?
Why do you feel you've got better as a group when you assess this Six Nations?
Experience. You know, it's never going to be perfect. We'd like it to, and you know, we're working hard to try and make sure that doesn't happen. But you know, I think experience as a group and how we're grinding out those tough times and making it better, I think is hugely important for the development of, you know, individuals and also a team. So yeah, there's always, you know, positives to come out of stuff like this, but obviously we're extremely disappointed.